Hey there, I'm Tucker, this is D&D Daily, and today I wanted to talk about the 5th level spell, Geas. Now, I know Geas is not the strongest spell in the game, and it's probably not the coolest spell in the game, but I think it has some very, very cool applications for a DM, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. The Geas spell is a 5th level enchantment. It has a casting time of 1 minute, range of 60 feet, it only requires verbal components, and it has a duration of 30 days. The spell says, you place a magical command on a creature that you can see within range, forcing it to carry out some service or refrain from some action or course of activity as you decide. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. While the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once a day. A creature that can't understand you is unaffected by the spell. You can issue any command you choose, short of an activity that would result in certain death. Should you issue a suicidal command, the spell ends. You can end the spell early by using an action to dismiss it. A remove curse, greater restoration, or wish spell also ends it. Upcasting the spell makes the duration longer. So already from this spell, just from what it says on there, we can see that it's going to be very situational for a player to use, meaning it probably wouldn't be worth it for a player to pick it up other than just for flavor. As a DM, Geas is an amazing way, an incredible way to incentivize your players. Because the damage you take from Geas being 5d10 psychic damage is a really strong incentive, you can use this as a tool of an NPC, probably a big bad guy, or maybe a king or a government of some sort, to get the party to do what they want, to get them to help with something. So in my campaign, I gave one of my big bads Geas, and he cast it on the entire party with the command that they had to kidnap the son of an important political figure. The party immediately knew they didn't want to do this plan. They knew it was the big bad guy, they knew this wasn't a good thing to do, so they didn't want to do it. However, that 5d10 psychic damage every day is a big deal, especially because they were level 5, and 5d10 is a lot when you're level 5. So they eventually went and did this, even though they didn't want to, just to get rid of that curse. This was amazing for the story and set up so many things that I did not expect going into it. The other trick I used for Geas to make it not as bad and kind of increase that incentive, I started the damage when the party was about to take a long rest. So I started the damage at the very end of the day and then slowly moved it up so I would increase the stress on the party. I shortened their timeline so that the party knew that they had to do this quickly. And having that stress on them, I think, really increased that incentive because they knew that, oh, it's not going to be right before we get a long rest. Because when the damage comes in right before a long rest, the damage doesn't matter really at all. But when that damage is coming in earlier in the day when you might be in the middle of a fight, it becomes a lot bigger deal. So thus the Geas became an increasingly bigger deal and incentivized them more and more. Overall, using it like this, I love the Geas spell, especially when it's in the hands of a good villain. The Geas spell can make it so this villain can add the party to a list of his resources. He can have them do his dirty work because he casts Geas on them. Now, all this being said, I would probably still only do this once to my party. I feel like doing it more than once is just kind of like pushing them. However, it might come up again and kind of push them to find a way out of it rather than just continuing to do what he wants them to do. However, I think the one time that I did use Geas on my party, it turned out incredibly, and I think you might consider doing the same. What do you think of Geas and giving it to your NPCs? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? How do you think your party would react? Make sure to mention in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to check out some of our other videos on spells like Glyph of Warding or Hex, and we are D&D Daily, release new videos every single day, so make sure to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you tomorrow.